the day Canadians finally have the opportunity to go to an election. We are having a confidence vote tomorrow in this House. We have a real opportunity for Canadians to finally voice their concerns at the ballot box. Many Canadians have been waiting years for this opportunity, Madam Speaker, and we are at a critical time in Canadian history. And we have many members on the side of the House that have talked about the promise of Canada, and I too would like to talk about the promise of Canada that I was raised with. I was raised with stories about my ancestors, the prairie pioneers who came here well over 120 years ago with barely $5 in their pocket, worked extremely hard, and were able to buy a small plot of land, work their butts off. They lost many of their children along the way, whether it was flu or farming accidents. But they had the opportunity and the dream that if they worked hard and made those sacrifices, the next generation would be better off. And that was true every single generation since the last 120 years that my family has been here until now. Every single generation has had that opportunity that they would be better off because of the hard work of their parents and their grandparents. But today, my generation, for example, half of us will never be able to afford a home, and the generation after us, good luck. We see over 2 million people going to food banks every month in this country. The literal bread lines have returned in Canada under 9 years of Liberal government. That's what we're facing in this country as a result of their punitive carbon tax, of their massive deficits that have driven up inflation. People can no longer afford to live. Do you know that food banks are seeing for the first time in Canadian history full-time working parents who can't afford to feed their families coming to food banks? That 35-year-old fully educated working young people are living in their parents' basements because they can't afford homes in the neighborhoods they grew up in. This has never been the case in Canada ever. But this is what happens after 9 years of failed Liberal policies. Big government here to help has ruined everything by the Liberals. And we see time and time again they're being supported by the NDP and the Bloc. I would urge the NDP and the Bloc to vote non-confidence tomorrow, to step up, have some courage, and give Canadians the hope they deserve. That change is on the horizon. That can happen tomorrow, Madam Speaker, and Conservatives will be voting non-confidence in this Liberal government tomorrow, Madam Speaker. And we're proud to do so.